Hey everybody, welcome back to Time Value Videos. So in this video I wanted to show you how to bring in information from web pages, but maybe not all of the information on the web page. So before I've done a few videos actually, one where you can do the web query where you can go navigate in the internal browser inside Excel. I'll go over here and show you. So inside Excel you can get data from external data from web. I've shown you how to do that. I've shown you how to do it from text if you can copy the file link, and I've showed you just how to straight write the code so that you can pull in information from a site like Yahoo, so you can get historical data or any of these key metrics or anything like that. But if every way that I've showed you so far brings the entire web page in, and so anytime you're going to pull in, let's say you're going to pull key statistics for Microsoft, it's going to pull in everything that's listed here. And it's a lot of really good information, but it's not always, you don't want everything. Sometimes you don't care about dividends, you're not a dividend investor, or you're not a value investor, or anything like that. Maybe you only want to get a couple of their ratios because you want to make sure it meets your criteria, or you only care about your beta because you're a technical trader or something, so you want something more volatile or something like that. So I'm going to show you how to pull in just limited information. So at first glance, it seems like this wouldn't be very useful because you'd rather pull in more information than less, but it actually is going to help you pull data a little bit faster, especially if you're going from a web page. Maybe it's not Yahoo, it's some other website where there's lots and lots of information and you're pulling all of it at once, and that could take a long time, but when you really only need one line out of it or something, you can kind of narrow it down. So I'm going to show you how to do that. We're just going to use Excel here, and I'm going to go ahead and open under Developer. I'm going to open the Visual Basic window. I'm going to have them side by side so you can see. Inside Visual Basic, I'm going to hit Control-R to open my project window and double-click on this workbook because that's where I want to write my code. Then I can go ahead and get rid of that window because I don't need it anymore, and I'll create just a sub, and then I'm just going to call it macro. It doesn't really matter what you call it. I'm just going to show you how to pull stuff in. And so normally when we're bringing data in, we're going to import it anywhere you want, but just to be absolute generic kind of macro here to show you what we're doing, I'm going to do cells.clear, and that's just going to get rid of everything in case I'm pulling in more data overlapping itself. I'm just going to use cells.clear to clear out everything that's on there. And then I'm going to give myself a URL that I'm going to work with, but I'm going to leave it blank for right now while I write the rest of it. And so what I need to do is do with ActiveSheet.QueryTables.Add connection equals then quotes URL semicolon quotes and then whatever variable we're using to hold our URL. I'm using QURL, which is query URL, and then comma destination, and then equals, and then we're going to give it a range to import to. I'm just going to put it in A1. Give it a capital. There you go. Put it in A1, and then close that end parentheses. So then we have that, and then we need an end with because we have a with. So we got to go inside there. Then we're going to do background, all one word, background query equals true, and dot refresh background query, and then equals false. Cool. So we have those, and this is our basic bring information from a URL, right? This is like where we start from. In any of the videos I've showed you in the past where you're just writing the code, this is what you're going to start with. But so I'll show you how to run it just with that. So I'm going to go take the URL from Yahoo Finance. I'm just going to hit Control-C to copy it, go back to Excel, and then fill that in with our URL. So our URL is going to pull from here, and if I run it just like this, it's going to pull everything from the web page, except I'm not connected to the internet. There we go. Okay, so now let's do it. There we go. So it pulls everything from the web page, and I might not want everything from the web page. So what I can do is inside my with box right there, I can do .webtables equals, and then oops, hit enter there on accident. There we go. Equals, and I can put 1 in quotes if I want. You can put any number you want, and it'll pull in the table associated with that number. So with the number 1, the first table is search, and that's pretty much useless. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. I'm gonna start with 2. So if I run it with just 2, it just pulls in that small piece of it. It doesn't pull in everything at once. If I run it with 3, then it'll pull in a different piece. See, it just pulls in fiscal year end. If I run it with 4, I think that's the margins. There you go, profit margin, operating margin. If I run it with 5, it'll pull something else. There you go. We got ROA and ROE. So if you want to do Pont formula or something, you can use those. So basically, you can fill in this number with any number you want, and it'll pull in a certain table. So if you don't want to pull everything at once, you can work with that table. And this should work for a bunch of different websites. It doesn't work for every website because not every website has all of their information broken up into different tables like that. But Yahoo Finance does that with pretty much everything they have. So if you wanted to change it, let's go ahead and show you. Let's go under options. And so if we want to get like the options ladders and all that kind of stuff, we can take that URL, go back over here, fill in the URL under our qurl variable, run it with this is just Webtable 5. There might not be a Webtable 5 on that page. Yeah, so let's go ahead and go back and let's just do 2. So if I run it with 2, that should just pull in the call option. So see, those all have C in their link right there. So that's just the call options, and see it ends, and the last one is C. If I run it for 3, then it should just pull in the put options. And so if I only wanted to look at puts or calls, one or the other, and not both, then I can just use 2 and 3 for my web tables to pull from those options contracts. So Yahoo Finance is really good for pulling in data like that. It's a super easy way to do this. If you want to pull in analyst estimates, you can do the same thing. Just take the URL, go over here, fill that in, Control V. So there we go. I can run it, and this is Webtable 3, so it's only pulling in, for this it's a revenue estimate. If I run Webtable 4, then instead of revenue estimate, it might be, what's the next one? The earnings history. So then they got earnings history for, and this is under Microsoft. We're using Microsoft data right here. If I pull for number 5, it can be whatever the next table is on that website. Earnings per share trends. So how their trends how their earnings per share is changing over time from 3 months down to a week down to right now for estimates. So you can pull that for really any website, and so you can do all kinds of different ones. I think the profile, or what is it, the summary information right here. If you take that one, that's kind of fun to do because you can get in some really quick information that way. So if I just do with table 2 and pull it in, it just pulls in, boom. You got your open, you got your close from yesterday, your bid-ask spread, you got your days range. That's like the key information that you just want to see what happened today. You got it right there, and you're good to go. Webtable 3 for that same URL does the same thing, but it's the other side. So it's market cap, you got how big the company is, you got your PE ratio, so you can kind of see what the valuation on it is. You can see your beta, so you know how volatile it is and what kind of volume you should be looking at for shares traded in a day. You got all that stuff kind of set up right there. So super easy. You could actually do multiple web tables at a time, so you could do 2 and 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it that way. Then run it. And then we got both 2 and 3 right there. So they're right there back to back. If you wanted to add more, you can just do 2 and 3 and 4. You can just get those. So if you want to do like a specific set, 4 isn't useful. It's just the extra information that was at the bottom of that web page. But if you were doing this for a different URL, then 2, 3, and 4 might be useful stuff that you want. So that's just a quick video on how to pull in, segmented data. So if you don't want to have everything, you just want to get simple information so it doesn't clutter up your page. And so it just kind of makes it easier to work with. So hopefully that helped. If you have any questions on how to do this, go ahead and put comments in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to try to help. Or any of the awesome people that watch my videos, hopefully they can help you too. But that's it, and thanks for watching. If you like this video, let me know in the comments. And you'd probably like these ones too.
Going to be a video on how to use macros and VBA in Excel to automate the visual
tasks that you regularly have to do.
How to write.
So the first thing that we're going to want to do if we're going to automate